Jaws live overhead in SkyCal with more. Hi, Des.
Hi, Pat and Rudabay. Here we go. Another stolen vehicle, and this one is not too far away from where that crazy pursuit that also had a stolen vehicle ended earlier today. We're in it is not too far away from where that crazy pursuit that also had a stolen vehicle ended earlier today. We're in Van Nuys here, just west of Van Nuys Airport. Had to do quite a bit of coordinating with them. LAPD's Devonshire division has been in pursuit. The suspects got to be careful here. They might end up working their way into a cul-de-sac here. Well, no, actually they're coming back out onto Satakoy. Let's see what happens. Pretty busy street. Look at traffic flying by here. Kind of, yeah, very close to the airport, so we're kind of between Balboa and Havenhurst on this pursuit here. Now headed back east. Oh, weird little maneuver there to the wrong side of the road. This is a Toyota CHR, kind of a interesting little SUV. Not very powerful, but decently nimble. You can see, yeah, wrong way driving again here. Sepulveda at Balboa, so this is a pretty dangerous pursuit here for sure, Pat and Rudabay.
No question about it. Again, it's interesting, Des, that you say this is on the same area, basically, that other pursuit happened. What do we see officers doing at this point? Is there any chance for them throwing out a spike strip? Do you hear any chatter about that? Anything to stop this?
No chatter about that yeah, nothing like that at the moment. Really kind of difficult to say as we're at the tail end of rush hour traffic right now, and the suspect's been kind of aimless. Okay, this is almost pretty sure. So we just went through Havenhurst and Satakoy here. Pretty sure this goes into a dead end. Well, it's going to bend around. Actually, this might go out into Stagg Street. So you can see Van Nuys Airport. We're right on the western border here of the airport. Let's see where this is going to put us out at 60 miles an hour on this little industrial street right here. Really, really flying on these streets. So, you know, you see this pretty dangerous driving. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if LAPD kind of backs off on this one a little bit, but they do have their helicopter overhead. So they do still have eyes from the sky. They're kind of falling behind a little bit on the ground now at this point.
You know, it's interesting. I'm going to go back to the one that happened earlier today, Desmond. I mean, that was really crazy. And we know they went off and then came back on. When you said you think they may pull off of this one, makes you wonder if maybe they don't have any other information other than this is a stolen vehicle, because if it was something more sinister, that they could possibly continue to follow.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we'll just have to see. Every pursuit is kind of different. They are still here. Actually, they did manage to catch back up as we're back out now onto Stagg Street, approaching Balboa, just kind of dancing all around the west side of Van Nuys Airport. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy driving, and we are, you know, talking about a stolen vehicle, and you know, that pursuit earlier today, they did let go before a different unit, you know, re-engaged with that one. So always tough to say, but look at this guy. Just imagine you just got off work and this guy just cuts in front of you, and you're like, what is going on right now? Oh, and then here comes LAPD right behind him. Oh, geez, is there a pursuit that just went by me? Yep, that's indeed what it is, as we're northbound Balboa through Van Nuys, headed towards Northridge at almost, well, just about freeway speeds now.
Yeah, and a dangerous time of day, too, with, you know, as you mentioned, people coming home from work. It's rush hour, basically, and we are anticipating wet weather a little bit later on, too.
Yep, and we actually had a little bit of that wet weather in the earlier pursuit. Now, just look at these speeds right here with all the stop traffic up to Balboa and Roscoe. Very busy intersection here. Are they going to have the green light to get through? Might have slammed on the brakes a little bit. Yeah, slammed on the brakes really hard right there. Really, really cutting it close. Threading between two cars.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a really wild one here with this Toyota CHR. You saw him slam on the brakes there and able to nimbly make that turn. And because this is not such a high-profile SUV, it's almost kind of more like a station wagon. It's not as top-heavy and a little bit more capable of taking those turns. Even though it just has a four-cylinder engine, you can see this person, they are really booking it.
Yeah, four-cylinder engine. That's when you think about you know, power, that's certainly on the lower end when you say, Desmond, but at the same time, they seem to be making the best use of it as they can. That's going up to 80 miles an hour.
Moving right along.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, these only have, I think, maybe, I'm not even sure if they have like 200 horsepower. Actually, really was kind of fascinated with these vehicles for a little while, briefly in production with Toyota. First time covering a pursuit with one of these. But yeah, I mean, you know, despite that, you can see they are definitely driving it like a Ferrari here. 75 miles an hour westbound on Roscoe. So Roscoe and Zelza were just kind of below Cal State Northridge right now, about a mile or so to the south of that, to more stop traffic. The suspect not even hesitating to get to the wrong side of the road, barely even slowing down. And is LAPD even back there still? As I widen out, they really have backed off this at the moment. So I'm not sure if they officially went into tracking mode, but you know, the spotlight is off as well, so they might be backing off this one a little bit right now.
Quite a few near misses that we just saw just within the last couple of minutes.
Do we know if there's only one person in this vehicle, the driver, or, you know, we always ask those questions now as we see sometimes they try to elude police, and if there's more than one person in the car, run off in different directions to kind of slow them down. So just wondering, Desmond, if we know that.
Oh, this is dangerous.
No, haven't. Yeah, we haven't had an opportunity to look in the front of windshield yet at this point, but still just plowing, muscling their way through all of these stoplights right now. Getting a decent little look at the driver here briefly, but yeah, I'll just really desperate driving. Lots of risks being taken here. Center divider, we've seen as high as 75 miles an hour on some of these streets, and you know, it's dark and it's a time of the night where we could have people out here walking around, and it's you know, so dark, and this person flying through so quickly. There's some pedestrians right there, right on cue. You know, it's extremely dangerous for everyone, but especially for pedestrians out here right now.
And there are quite a few businesses, if I'm not mistaken, on Reseda Boulevard. Smaller businesses, but still can be very, you know, busy at this time of day. It's not quite 6 o'clock yet, and as we're talking, they just seem to be picking up even more speed, Desmond, without, you know, the overhead light being on them, or did we just see them? I thought I saw maybe a light shining back on. It looks a little lighter out there, but, you know, with the chopper maybe backing off overhead and LAPD backing off behind, they're still driving as if they're being chased very closely.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of that earlier today, which with that stolen vehicle pursuit, the same kind of thing where it's just so tough when you back off and you still watch the suspects drive like this. Like I was saying earlier, you kind of get the worst of both worlds, because not only are they still endangering everyone, but now if they decide to get out and run, or heaven forbid they crash and get out and run, they're going to have a lot of leeway. They're going to have a long leash there before anyone's going to be able to catch up with them on the ground. So at least he turned off a Reseda, because you're right, Pat. We were going down to Reseda and Sherman Way. That section of the Reseda area, very busy, lots of businesses, lots of people walking around, dense communities. Now we're kind of back out into a normal suburban type of area here off of Satakoy Street, but you know, into the center divider, just no hesitation to kind of do the craziest thing to get even more space between them and law enforcement.
Oh, what was that?
Cutting through the gas station there, or the
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. Yeah, Mike, do we know how this started? We see this driver very erratic, not paying attention to any kind of rules, and driving a lot in the median and on the wrong side of the road, making an illegal U-turn there. So many near misses.
Yeah, no, I mean, right now we're still trying to figure out the details behind the theft. Oftentimes we have to talk to the watch commander, who's obviously busy dealing with the chase. So more often than not, though, the officers would run the license plate. The license plate comes back stolen. They attempt to stop it, and it just doesn't go very well. I think this started as if I remember correctly, I believe this started as a following as well. Now, you'll notice the difference, though, as Desmond was kind of pointing out, well, now I kind of see their lights. Are they right back behind him, Des? I know you're looking for the driver.
Let's widen out here really quickly, and yeah, we were just trying to, I can see, I can see that their lights, they are kind of back behind him here, but
and to Desmond's point, it's interesting about tracking mode, because the LAPD's design of tracking mode, the night sun from the helicopter comes off, officers' lights and sirens stay on, but they're supposed to stay out of line of sight of the driver, because the whole idea is that the guy doesn't think he's being chased anymore and will give up. It's hard to do that on this very straight street. No matter how far back that officer is, this guy can clearly see the lights in his rearview mirror. So, you know, if they don't want him to think he's being chased, that kind of is difficult to do, because if you're on a straight street like this, they're still going to see those lights and still know that those officers are behind him, now that we're getting into these residential neighborhoods, which are back out onto a close one there. Good thing other people are paying attention.
Yeah, defensive driving for the other people. And we saw on that on that residential street, there were speed bumps too. He's flying over those speed bumps and now dodging in and out of traffic again. This is just
look at how
so
close
scary.
he's getting to cars. That's really concerning.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, when you see stop traffic like that, I always just worry that might be a pedestrian in the middle of the intersection and it's going to be wrong place, wrong time, where they don't even see this maniac coming through, and then, you know, get in this person's way and they can't see him either. You know, fortunately, we didn't have it there at Tampa and Sherman Way, but yeah, you saw a little bit of stuff kind of flying up there in the middle of the screen and taking those dips and those speed bumps super fast too. So he really is pushing this one back out onto Van Owen and Tampa. Yeah, and a little bit of deja vu because only maybe a half mile or so from where the pursuit ended earlier today, and you know, you can just imagine how many people are honking and reacting to this person, just going, what is going on with this maniac right now? Out on Van Owen and Shirley. So as we make our way into the Winnetka area now, Reseda, Winnetka, not seeing LAPD in a very close pursuit at the moment. We'll see if they catch up as we get to another busy intersection.
Okay, going the wrong lane of traffic now.
Whoa.
And look at
cars
all the
turning
traffic.
in.
Corbin, all right, you have Winnetka businesses also line both sides of the Corbin Avenue. It's certainly a residential area as well. It's just so weird to see how this is continued with not having law enforcement right behind him.
Yeah, and he's been really, I mean, we're a little bit further from where we started, but we haven't made a ton of distance to get away from the original area. And that's kind of what the pursuit earlier was doing too. They stayed kind of in the Koreatown-ish area, and then all of a sudden just bolted west and came up the 405 and then up into basically where we are now. But we're, coming southbound, I believe, and we're going to be kind of getting, Corbin, we're going to be coming up to Ventura pretty soon. If he continues to go south. So we'll see if he tries to jump on the freeway, although I don't think there's a freeway entrance right on Corbin. I think he'd have to go east or west.
That's the other question I was going to ask. It's interesting that they have not tried that already because they've had certainly several
opportunities,
Yeah, in that area. Making another turn now on Topham in Tarzana. We always, guess ourselves, does this person driving know exactly where they're headed, or are they just driving aimlessly? But they seem to like being in this in the West San Fernando Valley at this moment.
Yeah, as we're eastbound now, we'll approach Tampa, and if he goes back north, we'll kind of go back towards the way we came from here. But if he stays, he'll just kind of take it. Topham is a fairly medium-sized street, I would say, and you can see that right now. He's got one lane in each direction. Okay, and we are going to make that turn on Tampa, and that's, I believe, a southbound turn, I think, right, Des?
Yeah, southbound here, so headed towards the 101, and there is a direct ramp to get on to the northbound or westbound 101. Otherwise, you'd have to go down to Ventura if you wanted to go east. But yeah, getting down to Ventura Boulevard, where, hey, I mean, I have to tell you how busy that is with cars and pedestrians, lots of restaurants, tons of businesses down there. We've seen some really scary pursuits take place on Ventura. Oh, no, I think he might have clipped that cyber truck right there. He might have, and that vehicle too, very, very close. So the risks just continue as indeed now we are getting on the freeway. So we're going to be getting on the 101. And if they're going to be driving anything like they would drive on surface streets, we'll see just, how quickly they're going to take this here. This part of the 101 is typically pretty wide open at this time of the evening. And now I have to wonder if CHP is going to get involved. Their West Valley office not too far away at all.
That's right.
From here. But now we're up to, look at this, almost instantly close to triple-digit speeds here as we barrel towards Woodland Hills.
You know what? I said Chatsworth, but Desmond, we know there is also, it might be DeSoto Street where CHP branch is in Woodland Hills, so they're definitely close enough. And would you be surprised if they got involved? I don't know if I would, simply because we've been watching this vehicle, and he may have clipped that cyber truck, as you say. So they've been driving pretty recklessly. That would be more reason for them to ask them to get involved, right? Try to help them out.
Yeah, and you know what? I actually just heard them say that they want to terminate this pursuit and that they're going to inform CHP, but it sounds like they may not even want the airship to keep with this one because it is getting so dangerous. So, they're going to let CHP know, but, if they don't take this over, this suspect is, getting ready to get away, and LAPD is going to give it up.
And we have seen that recently, Mike, where they terminate the pursuit. So what happens? They really just truly get away, or do they
just get away? I mean, if they can try to backtrack and figure out, if they can get any details about the suspect from the vehicle theft. And here's the issue: look, so he's getting off now. So LAPD is going to terminate, and now that he's off the freeway, CHP is definitely not going to get involved here unless Yeah, CHP is not going to get involved if he's not on the freeway, especially if they don't have a helicopter overhead to track it and to monitor it. So this is, oof.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
Almost ran into the back of that car. I mean, this is how it's going to be. They're going to let it go. The LAPD airship specifically asked if they could stay over and monitor. The watch commander said no, and so that's it. So LAPD will clear the area. CHP is not going to take it because he's not on the freeway, and
He's so close to them, though.
yeah,
He's so, seriously.
And even if he did clip that Cybertruck.
yeah. I mean, unless they want to make a case, I mean, you would have to up the want for some sort of felony hit and run, but nobody was hurt, so it wouldn't be a felony. It's certainly obnoxious and irritating that this guy's potentially going to get away in someone else's car allegedly, but if that's how it is, that's how it is. And the LAPD is clearing to the east. There is no helicopter over it, and there are no ground units behind it.
Wow.
But we were talking about them giving it up. I mean, they could possibly, we always say that if they have the license plate, of course, they can ditch this car.
Right.
Right? So.
Well, yeah, and it's hard because it's stolen, so the license plate's
Exactly.
not going to come back to the driver. So unless, if there's a situation where they go back and, the person that reported it stolen, is there any video? Is there anything that can help them identify this? Because, in addition to it being a stolen car, you now have at least the felony evading too, which maybe will give them more of a reason to try to go for it, especially if you're looking at this really crazy driving that's going on.
And still, even though this driver's not being pursued, it's still driving like he or she's being pursued. Yeah.
Yeah, he's close enough even to Pango, to the mall there.
And maybe that's going to be the game. Maybe he'll try to jump into the parking garage. I mean, that would be ideal, right? I mean, then you lose, potentially the police could, get the car back and the suspect gets away. I mean, not that you want the suspect to get away, but at least it would stop this dangerous driving, and police could potentially recover the car.
Now, why is they've slowed down?
Making a U-turn?
Yeah, kind of aimless
back
there.
in the
And
other
it looked like
direction.
I was
There,
wondering if
Irwin,
that's where. Well,
yeah.
now we're headed down
There's the
this
mall.
driveway right here into this we're still a couple blocks from the mall, but into this kind of industrial area. I think this might be a Home Depot.
Yeah,
right
they
by
have a
here.
number of
I'm not sure if that.
even strip malls over there, but that's the Home Depot, and then it's going to be a bunch of apartment buildings and residential condominiums.
Yeah, and I mean, the person was driving so audaciously on DeSoto. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if there would have just been a CHP unit that would have seen it. Okay, look at this.
There we go.
Decided to park, and I think we are going to be out. So off of, I think we were off of Irwin Street is where we were. So now the lights are off. They are parked. Are they going to get out and walk away? Okay. Yep, they've got a red hat on, jumping over here, but there's no helicopter, no LAPD helicopter to alert them of this suspect that's now getting out. And they got a backpack, their belongings.
Pick up their stuff.
Keeps dropping his stuff. Can't decide what if see kind of butterfingers there, but. So yeah, at one of these nice apartment complexes here in the Warner Center area where they've been building for years, and this is one of those huge complexes. He just parked on, I think that was the Home Depot side. So we've got Oxnard Street right there, Oxnard off of Varial, and there they are right there. But probably gonna, I'm not sure if we see if we can move to the right here. Probably
going up
gonna
some
lose him pretty
stairs,
quickly if
Des.
he's gonna go up some stairs, and I'm not sure if this is where the suspect lives, or if they know someone, or if they know how to access this, or if they're going to hop over. Let's see if we can keep tabs on the suspect here. But yeah, they are booking it into this really nice apartment complex here, this big, beautiful pool deck, and looks like was able to get right through there. And we'll keep coming around and see if we can see him. But yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, at least the danger is over.
On the right.
And there they are.
Looking for a door.
Yeah, but probably just kind of trying to get away from our prying eyes as much as possible. Unfortunately, he's doing a pretty good job right now. But this is a huge development here, and lots of probably hallways that he can get through. And got right through. There was no issue. You thought maybe there would have been a gate or something there, but.
Well,
it makes you wonder if they were familiar with this area, but
and hopefully this doesn't lead to some other type of crime, like a burglary or something in someone else's home.
Behind us, so absolutely. We can't. Not sure what was in that backpack or what, but it's just so frustrating to watch, and it just seems like it's been happening more and more often with these suspects, where the more chances like for them, it's like high risk, high reward. I mean, they really are risking their lives. There's so many times where they could have been in a in a head-on collision there. Obviously, they were endangering everybody else, but they took that risk, and, you know, unfortunately for LAPD, unless they get really, really lucky right now, but I don't see that happening.
They're not even.
They don't have anyone in the area.
Yeah, and as far as I can hear, Des, they're not coming either. I mean, the helicopter did not return. I don't hear any units being dispatched to the area, so it doesn't even look like they're attempting to come take this guy into custody.
But Mike, you don't think a detective will be assigned to this? Because he's certainly going to be on camera. His face will be on camera in those hallways.
And they'll try to locate him later. I mean, the bad news for the guys that came into a really nice new apartment building, where certainly they'll be able to get some images of him, but I don't know that that's going to be something they'll come do right now.
Well, whoever the car belongs to, you're looking at it right here, and it is in Woodland Hills at one of, could be several apartment buildings there because there are so many in that area. But looks like, you know, this suspect has gotten away, at least for now.
Yeah.